Hey everybody, welcome! I finally have the Fanshobby Saber minicon team. It took from April to November to get that pre-order filled. I am never pre-ordering from that website again if I can avoid it. Anywho, here it is. The three that I never got as a kid, and I am so excited to finally have them. So we have Runway, Sonar, and Jetstorm. I'm not sure if Fanshobby gave them any additional names, but looking at them, Runway, pretty much all clear plastic. I know a lot of people have griped about these things being clear. My only gripe is they would have looked better fully painted like Sonar here. Why didn't they? But it is what it is. And here is Jetstorm. I mean, they look good. The sculpting is good. It's very minor, very minuscule, but still, they look good. And Sonar. It is a shame that they couldn't allow us to disconnect this whole handle bit. I mean, you can disconnect this part of the handle, but that doesn't really do much. But it is what it is. They're minicons. They're not really super complicated or super detailed. They never have been. So let me go ahead and scooch these to the side here. This is going to be a very quick one. Here is the Skyboom Shield Minicon team. Right? So about the same in size, give or take. Nothing special going on. I mean, they're special to me, but it's not the kind of special I mean. So very simple. That's there's not much to them. Here they are. I mean, little bit of paint details, but most of it's going to be in robot mode, and even then, there's still not a lot. Runway and Jetstorm, they do have little landing gear, just so they're not all flopping around. And then Sonar doesn't have any, but he does have that, which helps his balance. So, yeah, let's go ahead and just get him transformed, right? Let's get into bot mode. So I'll flip up his nose, untab his foot from the wing, rotate around, rotate at that joint, slide down and rotate that. Rotate, slide, rotate. And then his arms, you just bend at the elbow, flip around, bring this around to the front, slide it back, and then pick up on his head. It just slides up. Give him a little bit of a twist in his leg there. Come on, buddy. Stand for me. There we go. All right, Sonar here. Also super easy. Just slide that down. Split his legs. Bring his toes out and forward. Bring his arms. Let's get his hands out first and then bring his shoulders up. A little bit easier to access doing it that way. And then go ahead and rotate all of this. Come on, come on. There it is. And there is Sonar. Really, as you can see, really not much, just like with the other minicon team. And then Runway, again, flip up, bring his legs down, straighten his knees, bring his toes out, then bring his arms down and rotate at the bicep, but I have a bit of an issue with him constantly wanting to pop off the ball joints. They are small, got to be careful with them. And then bring the back half of the jet up on the slider and forward, then the head up on the slider it's on. And there we go. As you can see, not much to them whatsoever, but they are minicons. I can't imagine anybody really expected them to be super complicated or super fancy. So, looking at him, I mean, he looks good for what he is. He does look fairly accurate to the cartoon. Let's see, runway here. His head is on a swivel. His shoulders are on ball pegs, and then you can also rotate them up on that joint. Yeah, if you rotate them up only at the ball, then it tends to pop off. So they gave you a shoulder joint so that you can avoid that. Then he has the bicep rotate. It is a little tight, but it is there. And then elbow, a little bit above 90. Then your thigh goes all the way out to there. Back to there, but only if you splay it out. And then only up to there. Knee does 90. And then nothing in the feet, and they've got the slants in them so that you can pretty much give them a permanent A stance. It's pretty much what they were meant to have. Sonar here. His head does not rotate. His shoulders articulate for transformation, and then you've got a bicep swivel, and his elbow will do all the way up for transformation. And that is that. There is no other kind of articulation up in the arms. His legs will go straight out, straight back, and then you can get out this much with the arm out of the way. Then his knee, almost 90. And then he does have toe. He's got a little bit of a rotate, but he's got a bit of his shuttle body here that gets in the way. It's just on a ball joint, so you can go down, you can't really go up. But he's actually got a little bit of fancy feet compared to the other two. And then Jetstorm here, his head will do a 360, as long as you don't push it down into his chest. His arms will go all the way up on the ball joint because the ball joint is on the wing. He does have a bicep swivel, and elbow will go all the way up. Legs will go all the way up to their very high kick, but then you won't go back at all because of the wing, and then because of transformation, they will go up as high as you need to. Knee, more than 90, and foot, you can go up, you can't go down, and nothing else. And because I kind of skimmed over that, he's got, a little bit of red, all the blue is painted, a little bit of silver, but other than that, he doesn't have much for paint. Sonar is the most painted, because all the blue, all the white, the gold, the silver, and the red is all painted. Well, the white and blue might actually be cast, but then you've got the white stripes, those are painted. The blue down here is painted over the white. And then down here they're cast in blue, but then they have the white and black stripe. So yeah, there they are. Again, super simple. And then, again, size comparisons with the Shield team. You can see that they are all about the same size. And because we know these are minicons and all this and that, I'm not going to go crazy with size comparisons for anybody else. I will just do simply one, which is the Legacy Megatron. I'm not gonna go crazy on the size comparisons. Just don't need to with these guys. They're so small. We know they're small. That's part of the fun of them. So, with that, let's go ahead and get them transformed into sword mode, which is pretty much how they're going to live for me. So, go ahead and start with Jetstorm here. Go ahead and push his head back down. Bring this up. Make sure that gets secured so it's all flush up here. Bring his arms up at the elbows and then rotate all the way around. They have tabs up here. And then for his legs, go ahead and fold his feet back up. Rotate up and rotate at the thigh. Slide down at the knee and then again tab them into the outer tabs up here. And for Jetstorm here, that's really it. I mean, his one more step, bring down his nose cone if you're going to vehicle mode. But for jet mode, this is it. And then we'll pull up on this center connector piece. And that's it for him. Sonar. So we'll go ahead and rotate his head, chest, and this peg all at once. And again, this is the same for going back to space shuttle mode. Flip his arms up all the way. As well as rotate his shoulders. Then for his legs, we're going to rotate and put his feet back in and slide those up. Now for shuttle mode, you would put his feet together and compress them back down. But we're doing Saber mode, so keep them pulled out and just angle them off to the side. And the connector that we pulled out here is going to go into the end of this connector. And it's got a tab, so it only goes one way. All right. So that's that. I'll set you down. And now, last but not least, runaway. Fold his feet in. Push the head down. And rotate the back of the jet at the same time. Get it tabbed in. Remember, it's on the sliders, so get it all secured. We're going to go ahead and bring these around. And then you want to rotate at the bicep and bend at the elbow. And is where these sit is they've got these little slots in the arms for tiny little tabs right up here next to the jet thrusters. And they just kind of sit in place. They're not really secure. They really just rest there. It's like those tabs are really just there to make sure that you have the arms in the right place. All right, so he should be looking like that for just the arms. And then the legs just simply fold up. You'll kind of bend them forwards at the knee, the one little bit they do. And then again, you've got these little slots in the bottom of the arms for this outer bit of the leg. And it just kind of rests in place. And then fold down the cockpit. So he's in full jet mode for this. And then you've got two tabs on the back of his wings for two ports at the back of him. And you just get it tabbed in. And there you go. That is the Star Saber. There's the back of it. Pretty good. Again, I never had it as a kid, but it feels solid. It's got the T-handle connection for Fanshobby, and then it's got a 5mm port for any kind of mainline figures, which is currently the only other Armada figures that we have. So with Megatron, he's going to look goofy because of how big he is, but still, there you go. It does work. It really works better with the Legacy Optimus Prime in Super Mode, just because of the size of the Saber. Because I believe there was some mass shifting in the show when Megatron and Starscream and Hotshot and all them wielded the sword. Or it could have just been, that's just how small these guys were. So But there is the sword. And then for size comparison, there is the Skyboom shield. You can see they're about the same height, about the same size, and they look great together. I'm so glad that after what 20 years, give or take, I finally have these two teams, and the Requiem Blaster is not far behind. I believe Fanshobby said that's December, I think, December of 24, or maybe later this month, November, but I'm pretty sure they said December. So soon I'll have all three teams. The child in me is so happy. So, but I mean, there they are. There's really not much else to them. Um, like I said, I'm not going to worry about going crazy with any size comparisons. They're, comparing them with the other team is good enough. Overall, would I recommend them? Partially. So it's a lot of clear plastic. Even sonar, he's got a little bit, and it's in the thighs, oddly enough. A lot of people have an issue with clear plastic. I do not. However, I do want to know why they couldn't have made it painted. Just why? I don't remember if the originals were painted or not, because I only ever saw them in a catalog. I never even saw them in stores. That's part of why I never got them. Any of the three teams. I got the Adventure team, which is like a snowplow and two Jeeps that, like, when you roll them, something moves, but didn't get these. So I don't know if they're just going accurate to the toy or what, but I really wish Fanshobby does a lot of where they'll take liberties and they'll do a little bit of a style. That's why I'm not a fan of their Super Jinrai and God Bomber and their Legacy, their Armada Optimus Prime. They're too stylized for me. But these guys, I kind of wish they would have gone after the tune as opposed to the toy and made them all solid plastic and fully paint them all. I just think they would have looked better. I guess a lot of people were scared of the clear plastic because of potential for breakages. I can say everything that I do have from Beast Wars, Robots in Disguise 2001, and Transformers Armada, all of those, all my originals, what is clear is perfectly fine. In fact, I've had more breakages at joints for solid plastic. My Optimus Primal is a little messed up. I can't really transform him anymore. And if you saw my video for Legacy Armada Optimus Prime, I showed you that the elbow snapped off of my original, and it was a solid joint. It just brittle, snapped in half. So clear plastic, I'm not worried about. I just think it would have looked better if it was painted. So if you're like me and you missed out on the original, it's worth it. If you just like having it for whatever reason, a completionist, or you just want it with your Armada bots, there you go. This is it. But yeah, a lot of clear plastic. And of course, there's not much to them. Not much articulation, not much posability. You got to be careful with it just because they don't. I mean, two of them have feet that you can't move. So they're pretty much a permanent A stance, or you got to find a way to make that A stance work for you. So with that being said, like I said, a partial recommendation. I think it's great and I love it. But I can't just assume everybody else would feel the same. So there we go. That's really all I got to say for them. Because their transformations are so easy, I'm not going to bother making a second video because I just transformed them through all their three modes in this video. So I'll just have bookmarks as usual. But there you go. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, see ya.